All right, let's talk about what it actually takes to become a professional trader. I'm not talking about the hype or the get-rich-quick schemes you see online. We're talking about building a real career, with the kind of seriousness and discipline you'd expect in any other high-stakes profession. So let's dive right in.
You know, we have to start with the most difficult question of all. It's a question I'm sure many of you have asked yourselves, maybe after a really tough week in the markets. If trading seems so accessible, why is it that the huge majority of people who try it don't make it?
And look, this isn't just a random guess. These are the cold, hard numbers from official financial regulators, like the European Securities and Markets Authority. They consistently find that somewhere between 74 and 89% of retail trading accounts lose money. Let that sink in for a second. That is an absolutely staggering statistic that we just can't ignore.
So this brings us face to face with a pretty uncomfortable truth, doesn't it? There's this massive, massive gap between the dream of trading that's sold to us online and the actual documented reality of it. Our job today is to really dig into that gap and, more importantly, to show you a real path to get across it.
This quote from the source material, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. It describes this gigantic, multi-billion-pound industry that has basically perfected the art of selling false hope. It's an entire ecosystem that makes money by churning through aspiring traders, not by actually creating successful ones.
And that realization leads us to a really crucial idea. There are basically two completely separate worlds of trading. You've got the one you see advertised all over social media, and then you have the world that's actually practiced by professionals in big institutions and prop firms. And honestly, they couldn't be more different. This table just lays out that divide so clearly. On one side, you have the world of marketing shortcuts. You know, the signal services, the gurus with their unverified claims, all based on gut feelings. But on the other side, the professional world is built on things like academic rigor, hard empirical evidence, serious risk management, and a scientific approach to the markets. The key takeaway here is that they are not even playing the same game.
So, the big question is, how do you get from that world of marketing fantasy over to the world of professional reality? How in the world do you bridge that enormous gap? Well, that is the entire reason this curriculum we're about to explore was created.
And that bridge is the Trading Academic. It was specifically designed to be a complete, practical, university-level trading degree, all wrapped up in a single comprehensive curriculum. So don't think of it as just another trading book. Think of it as your structured educational pathway from A to Z.
This statement from the author's preface really gets to the very core of its mission. It's a direct acknowledgement that, right now, the trading education landscape is failing people. This curriculum was created from the ground up to provide exactly what's missing: a real, professional, no-nonsense education.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and look at how this thing is actually built. Because it's so much more than just a collection of information. It's a blueprint, a step-by-step program designed to build professional competence from the ground up, just like you would in a real university degree.
And let me be perfectly clear here. This is designed with all the seriousness and structure of a formal degree program. The goal isn't just to teach you a few tricks or a magic setup. It's to give you a complete education in finance, in market theory, and in professional practice.
And hey, this isn't just some marketing fluff. The curriculum is formally benchmarked against the UK's National Qualifications Framework. That's a government-regulated standard for all education. As you can see, it's structured to progress you from a level 4, which is like a certificate, through a diploma all the way up to the intellectual demands of a level 6 honors degree. This gives you an objective, external validation of just how deep the course really goes.
The entire program is really built on 4 guiding principles. First, everything is grounded in actual, peer-reviewed research, not just someone's opinion. Second, every piece of theory is immediately put into practice right there in the TradingView platform. Third, your learning is constantly supported by a whole ecosystem of resources. And finally, and this might be the most important one, it sets honest expectations from day one.
But here's what's really powerful. The structure inside every single chapter is identical. It's a predictable, repeatable learning system. You start with super clear learning outcomes, you define the key terms, you go through worked examples, you test your knowledge at checkpoints, and then you apply everything you've just learned. It's a system built for deep mastery, not just surface-level exposure.
So, with that framework in mind, the choice to start this journey becomes a very conscious decision. It's a real commitment to leave that world of marketing gimmicks and false promises behind, and to start building a legitimate profession. Your real journey starts right now. So let's just recenter ourselves on what the actual goal is here. This is the formal definition of a professional trader. I want you to notice what's in there. Words like consistency, risk-adjusted, and a statistically valid edge. And notice what's not in there. Gut feelings, hot tips, luck. This definition is the North Star for this entire program.
And look, achieving that professional goal takes time. It demands a realistic timeline. Year 1 is all about education and building your foundational practice. You shouldn't even be thinking about profits. Year 2 is all about that tricky transition to live markets and developing your emotional strength. It's really only in year 3 and beyond that true consistency and scaling can even become your main focus. This is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint.
This final quote from the author just perfectly captures the whole philosophy. At the end of the day, the market doesn't reward hope. It doesn't reward gambling. In the long run, it rewards preparation, it rewards discipline, and it rewards the intellectual honesty to admit what you don't know. And this curriculum is designed to give you the tools for all three.
So, we'll leave you with this one question to really think about. This is the fork in the road. It's a clear choice between continuing down that path of speculation, a path that we know statistically leads to losses for most people, or starting the deliberate, challenging, but ultimately rewarding work of building a real profession. The choice, really, is yours.